We got to talk about the nun. For those of you that don't know, last week we went to the...
Dude, I can't start without an introduction.
If you clicked on this podcast, you're going to notice something different because instead of the normal little Zestyortesty sign, you're clicking on a picture of a long hallway with a nun poking her head outside of the door. And we're going to talk about it just right now. If you didn't see our
Yorktown Hospital tour,
go back to the left a couple videos, and we've got two different versions of the walkthrough and one podcast that we did from the, what do they call it? Cathedral?
Chapel.
The chapel in the middle of the hospital, where I get into the coffin at the end because I'm an idiot.
But don't worry, we cleansed ourselves with sage.
We did. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the nun. We're going to talk about everything. But first, let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Welcome to the Zestyortesty podcast. My name is Tessie McNasty. With me, as always, is Zesty Tito de la Pinga.
¿Qué pasó? Hey.
We always like to start this podcast off with a toast. If you're at home, please fill up an alcoholic beverage. We will sound a lot better if you do, and join us in a toast. If you're in your car listening, please just lift your coffee glass and join us as we say, "Here's to the glass we love to sip. It dries so many a pensive tear. It's not as sweet as a woman's lip, but it's damn straight more sincere. Cheers."
Salud. I like that. Wait, are you saying women are not sincere?
Yeah. So
he said it.
We walked around, and I didn't see a nun while we were walking around, but if you look at the thumbnail on both versions, both the YouTube version and the Spotify version, you will see the picture we're talking about. What do you see in that picture?
A nun. A nun, dude. I told you, I don't like that shit. And so I didn't see it. Well, when we did the tour, we didn't see shit. Then one of our guests, she sends a picture and she says, "What do you see here?" And I immediately said, "I see a nun." And then I showed the picture. In fact, I sent the picture to a few folks without the circle, and I asked, "What do you guys see?" And the response I got from about 4 out of 5 people was a nun.
And I'm the 5th person that said that I didn't see a nun.
Okay, then maybe it was 9 out of 10. No, but I had this one person tell me, I don't see anything. And then I said, "You don't see anything on the left-hand side?" And she says, "Chicken?" That's what I said, dude. I'm like, "Chicken? Are you hungry?" I mean,
a little bit.
Yeah. I'm like, "You see chicken? Wow, okay." The point is that at the time when we were walking around, we didn't see anything. But then we went back and reviewed the pictures, well, let me clarify that. My niece went back and reviewed the pictures. I don't do that. I figured the way I see it is, I was there. I don't need to go digging shit up. Whatever was around me was around me.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't need to see anything else. Now, I will tell you, it's just too much coincidence that when you see that picture and you see what looks like the nun's, I don't know what you call a white headpiece, but then you clearly see what looks like a crucifix hanging. And then if you go back and look at, in fact, Google it. If you watch this video, Google the nuns from Yorktown Memorial Hospital in Yorktown, Texas. Salesian Sisters, yeah. You look it up and you'll see 5 nuns, right? I think it was 5 nuns, a doctor, and a priest that ran that hospital. And the way they're dressed, they're nun, attire.
Habit.
It's a hard habit to break. But yeah, their habit is it looks just like what you see on the picture, right? I don't know. To me, dude, it was fucking creepy, freaky, and yeah.
So I didn't see a nun in the picture. And let me explain to you why you see a nun in the picture. Human beings are evolved to recognize patterns. If you're chilling with your friends in the jungle and the tiger creeps by through the bushes and you see the stripes, you're like, that's a fucking tiger, and everybody runs. The ones that recognize the pattern, they get to reproduce and make babies that also recognize the patterns. The one that say, that's not a fucking tiger, those motherfuckers get eaten. Okay? Mm-hmm. So human beings, the magical power that human beings have is pattern recognition. Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence going to take over the world. The one thing artificial intelligence is going to have the most difficult problem doing is being better than us at pattern recognition.
Brain. Yeah.
Which is why you still, anytime you got to prove you're a human, you got to pick out the bicycles in the picture. You got to pick out the staircases in the picture with the capture thing. Because computers can't recognize patterns. Humans can.
Yeah.
The problem is the guy that recognizes a tiger and gets everybody to run gets to reproduce. The guy that looks in the bushes and there's no tiger there, but he still sees a tiger anyway and everybody runs, they also get to reproduce. There's no penalty for recognizing a pattern that's not there. So we see patterns, human beings just see patterns where they're not there. Anytime you look at a grain of wood, you're going to see a face in it. Like if this had like the wood grain finish on it, we could stare at it a while and find something that looks like a face. We could sit there and look at the clouds and say, oh, that's a dragon on a surfboard. Because we see pattern recognitions. Obviously, there's not a dragon on a surfboard, but that's what human beings do. We see patterns where they're not there. So you tell us. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a fucking nun that was just chilling out going, what the fuck are you doing in my home? Because we did invade their private space. We did walk into this abandoned hospital, which is the most haunted building in the state of Texas. But I don't see a nun in the picture. But if you click on the thumbnail and you see a nun, comment below that you see the nun or that you don't see the nun. Because I'm interested in what everybody else thinks. That's why we're putting the thumbnail out there.
So, you know what I'm hearing, dude?
Tell me.
That you're trying to convince yourself that this shit doesn't exist. Now, I gotta tell you, if it's the most haunted building in the state of Texas, and all kinds of paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, ghosts, whatever, have been there, you're gonna tell me that you just debunked what all these people have been doing?
Well,
full of shit.
Number one, fuck every ghost hunter that graffitied in the basement.
Oh yeah, that was wrong.
Yorktown Memorial Hospital, because we go down to the basement and every fucking ghost hunter's there. Oh, we're the Gen X ghost hunters. Oh, we're the fucking this and that, and they all sign their names. It's like, bro, you can't graffiti on a historical building. We're trying to
respect that shit. You know, it's not your stuff. It's there for you to look at
and investigate.
I mean, look. The building itself is not being preserved by anybody. So, I mean, it's up to us. Just, you know, if you want to continue doing some research, take care of it. But back to this stuff. Look, I'm going to tell you. In fact, you brought it up, I think, on the video, right? Let's go back to, there's a part of the video where we're downstairs.
Yes.
We're in so this hospital, which, by the way, excuse my language, this motherfucker told me, we're gonna go on a tour. We're gonna go on a tour, and so I'm thinking that a couple of people are gonna be fucking taking us on the shit. I said, I ain't going on this fucking tour.
That's what.
I'm not going on this tour. And on the road over there, I had a whole flask. Okay, in fact, I took a few swigs, and then before we left, that I had a few sips. I'm gonna call them sips, shots of straight bourbon, but. He tells me, no, you got to do the tour.
The safety tour.
Yeah. He didn't call it a fucking safety tour. So anyway, this man shows up and greets us there, and you ask him, so you're going to be giving us a tour. And the guy immediately goes, oh, no, I'm just opening up for you. You guys are on your own. I'm like, what the fuck,
He's like, you want to know the history? 2,000 people have died here. Bye. And then he left. Even when it was time to get us out, he's like, there's another party after you at 6. You got to get the fuck out. He didn't come inside to get us out.
Yeah, no.
He stayed outside like, y'all done yet?
And then he makes that comment, oh, make sure that once you guys are in here, put this chain over this thing on the front door, because then other people are going to try to get in. Yeah. So if you hear the door rattle, you know, it's other people trying to get in. Yeah. Dude, if I hear a fucking door rattle, I'm getting the fuck out of there. Yeah. I'm not going to stay and find out why it's rattling. Yeah. But anyway, so the guy says, this is interesting. Look, he says 2,000 people died here, right? Mm-hmm. From 1955 to 1985. No major, I guess, surgeries were done there, or no major medical work was done. We'll call it a urgent care, right?
Sure.
Urgent care of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
It did have a blood spattered ER.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's paint, but
but
it
look,
was something.
you could choose to believe or not believe. Go fucking do it on your own if you don't believe. That's the way I
That's what we
see it.
did.
You could choose to believe or not, and Testy doesn't think shit is real or not. But here's what I'm going to leave you with before we continue on this shit. You take those 2,000 people, and when I got home, my wife asked me, "Is that a lot of people?" And I said, "Well," I said, "let's do quick math, all right?" And I said, 2,000 people died here in 30 years, right? And so, what does that average to?
I don't know.
66.66666.
Oh, no shit.
I did not know that, dude.
No shit.
I asked Alexa. I said, "Alexa, divide 2,000 by 30," because I wanted to see what the average was,
And it was 66.6?
66.6.
With the 6 trailing off.
Yeah.
Into the depths of hell. So anyway, if you don't feel like doing it for yourself, go like 2 or 3 videos back. We have 2 different versions of the walkthrough. His is the most popular. Man, I am so proud of you. I am so fucking proud of you.
Thank you.
Because you really I was really scared that he was not going to get out of the car, but he like charged in like somebody who had drank an entire flask of bourbon. It was beautiful.
And did you notice how I was always the person in the very back? Or right
That's
in the middle.
fine.
I prefer to be in the middle because I figure they're either going to
The
get you
slow
or
ones get eaten, and
they're
the
either
one in the
going to
front
get
gets eaten.
they're
and
either
you
going
got-
to get our guests or they're going to get you, right? I'm jumping out a fucking window. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's the second floor. It's definitely. Oh, and then there's a casket.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was a casket in the chapel, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at, okay, so there's the guy tells us, from the front, all you can see is that one creepy ass corridor, right, that leads to the chapel. The hospital is shaped like a T, right,
Yeah, like a cross.
like a cross, exactly. And then he says there's a second floor, and then there's the nuns' quarters, which am I at the very top, and then there's a basement. So we walked through the whole thing. I don't think we left any door unopened or unchecked. But then we go down, and there's no running water, and there's no electricity, right?
Correct.
We went on a day that wasn't rainy, wasn't cold. It was just a warm day. We get downstairs. Do you recall this? And Alex
Heard dripping.
heard sounds of. He said it sounds like tapping.
Yeah.
And then when we got quiet, he said it sounds like water just dripping.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the only one that heard it.
No, Carla also heard it.
Carla heard it. Yeah. So Heidi, we're not moving shit around because we're not really allowed to move stuff around, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you start to wonder, where does that come from, right? If there's no running water in there.
Correct.
But then it gets even worse when we went into that one room where it was like totally dark, and we're
Drenched in sweat.
drenched in sweat
There's
because
no
it's
air
so
conditioning.
humid down there. There's mold and asbestos. That's the worst of it, right?
breathing in.
Yeah, we're breathing in asbestos. So luckily we signed the disclaimer. Oh, we didn't.
No, we
did
didn't.
we? Exactly. So we walk into this room, which is pitch black, and then all of a sudden you said it. Oh, that feels
breeze feels so good.
Yeah.
There's no windows in the basement.
I felt a really nice breeze hit me, and then so did Carla, so did Alex, and so did you.
Yeah.
But there's not a fucking window in that room.
There was not a window.
There's
in the
no
basement.
power.
There's no power in the basement.
And then to top it off, it's like it was just like a breeze that hit us, and it was gone.
Yeah. It felt good though.
It felt really good.
Yeah.
So, again,
Pretty freaky.
yeah. So debunk that motherfucker.
Did anything weird happen to you after you got home?
Yeah, my wife didn't feed me.
There's no supper waiting.
I had to make dinner. But no, nothing. No, I don't think so.
So I work from home sometimes, and I'm a weird dude, and I have a big bathtub, and I put 2 pieces of board over the bathtub and a little wooden square, and I put my laptop on it. I sit there, I do my work from my bathtub, because I'm weird like that. And my wife's got these little birds, ceramic birds, on the bathroom windowsill. Small, medium, large, and I'm sitting there typing away, and the medium one falls off the ledge onto my clipboard And I was like, that's really weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
So I picked it up and I put it back. Nothing happened after that. But that was weird. They were doing like some kind of construction next door, so maybe vibrations vibrated it, but it's the first time something's falling off that ledge.
It's what you said, right? You believe what you want to believe.
Yeah.
I know what we saw. We didn't see anything while we were there. We heard something.
Some tapping.
We felt a breeze.
Nice cool breeze in a windowless room.
Which, by the way, I was talking to Mondo about it.
Yeah.
And he said, well, typically, when a spirit, it is said, and that when a spirit goes through your body, because of I don't know what he explained to me. He said your body temperature will feel like a quick drop in body temperature, like where you feel like cool, right?
Yeah.
And so, you start to wonder, what was that breeze we felt? And why was it in that room?
Because the spirit uses a lot of energy, so it sucks all the heat out because it uses the energy.
Which, if you're looking at this podcast or you've seen any of our other podcasts, you'll know that I think the quality on the video is pretty decent, right? But if you go back and look at some of the video that I was taking, you see some distortion.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, even Mondo brought it up.
There's distortion in the video?
Yeah, and he said there's, what did he call them? EVP?
Oh, little EVPs?
Is that what it's called?
Little balls floating around?
No, he called them electro something pulse or something like that.
Yeah.
He goes, which causes
the distortion?
a distortion of a frequency.
So you're supposed to, like, if you're a real ghost hunter, you're supposed to buy the little thing on Amazon that detects the electromagnetic pulses, which is what that is.
But we're not ghost hunters.
We're not ghost hunters. Hey, by the way, like, all the friends I sent the video to, the first thing they replied to me was like, oh, you need to go to the Black Swan Inn. Oh, you need to go to the Drury Inn. Oh, you need to
Motherfuckers
go to
pay for it. We'll go.
And it's like...
No. I'm not going to do this shit again. No.
Hey, we're not ghost hunters. That's not what this channel's about. If you want to see Yorktown Memorial Hospital, go 2 or 3 videos back and watch the walkthrough. It's beautifully done. You did an excellent job. You did a better job than me because you have the nice framing on everything. And I was kind of just excited. I was just kind of going too fast through everything.
Yeah,
you took your time.
I did because I was kind of hoping that shit wouldn't jump out at you and then I would have to run back. So
yeah, but this you're giving me a good lead.
Yeah, dude, there was a part in the video when we walk out of the chapel and I'm like, Ben, and you wouldn't fucking answer, dude. And I'm like, hey, where are you, man?
Was I up at the
You had gone
priest?
up.
Yeah,
you had gone up to the priest or the
on the very third floor. Like the priest has a little room. It was
I was
nice.
still in the first floor chapel with Alex and Carla.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck is Ben, man?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't have a podcast just called Zesty.
Zesty. Good.
Zesty or
the
missing guy. Welcome to Zesty or the Missing Guy.
Yeah.
And I'm your host, Zesty. The missing guy's not here.
So, what I like to do with this podcast is let it change with the seasons. It was October, so we did something spooky. Next month, we'll do something
spooky.
November-ish. December, we'll do some Christmas stuff. We'll do the end-of-year review. February, we'll celebrate my birthday.
With
March,
lots of hearts.
With lots of hearts.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
That's my birthday.
You're not born on the same day as me.
No, March.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, March is when we do Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
So we believe that fathers come first here on this Zestyortesty podcast. So we're going to start a petition next year to try to get Father's Day moved to March so the kids are still in school and they can make the little handprint and stuff and bring it home instead of Father's Day being in the middle of somewhere where everybody's like, oh, it's Father's
I'll take
Day?
an ashtray.
Yeah, we need one.
Yeah. We can't be using my wife's flower pot dish. So...
We can.
We have.
But we're not going to do anything spooky again until next year. With that being said, next year we're going to the Donkey Lady Bridge. Look at that. Donkey Lady Bridge here in San Antonio.
The hell? What is this?
So this is El Cucuy. It's a card game made by West Side Soul. It plays a lot like Old Maid.
Okay.
And it's got like a bunch of spooky local shit from here in San Antonio.
So what's the Donkey Lady Bridge?
Here in San Antonio, way back in the day, there was a farmhouse, And I don't know, some rich banker guy wanted to buy the land, and the family that lived there refused to sell it. So he set the motherfucker on fire.
Wow.
Sometimes.
When you want something, you want something.
Exactly. So the husband died, the wife died, and something about the wife was trying to save the donkey, but like
You know why?
she gets horribly disfigured in the fire. I don't know if she melts with the donkey or if it's just the fire disfiguring her face, but she comes out looking like a donkey lady. So if you go to the Donkey Lady Bridge at a certain amount of time, yeah, I know, right?
She's pretty hot.
Down the side of this, like Llorona.
She looks like the.
La Llorona is in here too.
Oh, she looks like that the lady mermaid looking thing on the Starbucks logo.
So, like in the middle of the night, sometime in October 2024, we'll do the podcast live from Donkey Lady Bridge. It's nice and free. Maybe the Donkey Lady will come out. Maybe it'll just be me and Zesty looking at EVPs.
Yeah.
You got a whole year to prepare, so
Oh yeah.
you'll be fine. You survived this one.
Coincidentally, the last time I actually agreed to this shit, I was drinking vodka like I am today. That's
Are we drinking vodka
hey.
today?
Yep, we're doing a little vodka, man.
So,
You know what? In spite of everything, I appreciate you convincing me to go to this thing. To those folks that contributed, thank you so much, because it was fun. It was fun, dude.
you have fun.
I did. Yeah. I did. I came home drunk. And you know what the best part about it was? That,
Coming home drunk?
well, no. That the Dairy Queen in Yorktown still sells burritos
I know, right?
with chili, cheese, onions, and jalapenos. So
Do not all Dairy Queens have those?
apparently not, because I've been to Dairy Queens and they don't have them. But I show up, I see a picture of a burrito, and I tell the guy, "You guys sell burritos?"
Yeah.
And he asked me, he goes, "Yeah, do you want it with chili, cheese, onions, and jalapenos?" I'm like,
Hell yes.
yeah.
That's my-
The only thing is I want two, not one. So, yeah, dude, that was the highlight of the freaking trip. And stopping in, where did we stop? Sutherland Springs. Well, that's where we stopped on the way over there.
Oh, I don't know.
Anywho, it was fun. But do go back and take a look at the picture, look at the videos. They're interesting videos. And let us know if you see anything. I took... So the other thing that kept on occurring, and by the way, I sent this to Carla so she can review it, and she's going to try to review the pictures. We took approximately 130 pictures with my phone, right?
That was taken by itself.
Well, she took 130 pictures with my phone, of which about 15 pictures...
Actually show up.
Well, no, 15 pictures were taken on by themselves.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Carla was holding my phone, and throughout the video, you can hear her say, "There it goes again, there it goes again."
But don't you have it set up to where, like, if you wave your hand a certain way, it takes a picture?
Were you waving your hand?
No. Okay.
Oh, I also have it set up to say cheese. Ask me how many times I said cheese while I was inside the fucking hospital.
0.
Yeah. And so she was like, "Hey, snap a picture of me right here next to the blood. Say cheese." Fuck that.
So anyway, since we're still in spooky season, I thought maybe we could play El Cucuy. El Cucuy is this card game right here. It plays just like Old Maid. If you get stuck with the El Cucuy, you lose. You only have to make a set of 2 to make a set, and each one's got like a spooky thing on it, and we could tell the little story about the spooky thing as we make the set. And we can keep talking.
What spooky thing?
Alright, watch. Well, don't look yet.
Oh.
Oops. But we could keep talking while we're playing.
Anyway, so while he's doing this, dude, without going into detail, congratulations to both our kids.
Oh yeah, they had big band things.
Yeah, they had big band, marching band events this weekend. And, they put a lot of, I'm not going to say blood, sweat, and tears, but pretty much. I mean, they put a lot of work into this, and couldn't be more proud of our kids, dude. They did a phenomenal job. They both go to different high schools, but kudos to both of them. I mean, stellar shows, stellar performances, just fantastic. Again, I don't have enough words to say how I feel.
Yeah.
Really. So,
And it's exhausting. Band is like an exhausting thing to do. They're working 12 hours a day. They're working longer shifts than I work at my actual job.
Yeah, well, not only that, dude, but yesterday shit, we came so close to getting our kids probably disqualified from.
Did you run out on the field or some shit? What'd you do?
Well, apparently it's frowned upon to run across the field naked after they do well. I mean, I was still.
You did not.
No, I was still wearing my chones. No, I'm just kidding. No, so what happened was, I signed up to be a member of what they call the crew, right? The dads that run around pushing, pulling, dragging, and building, painting, doing all kinds of stuff. Well, part of being in the crew is you get stuff done, and then now you have a 2-hour break, 3-hour break. It's like, what do we do with it, right? And
run across naked.
And well, we could have, but instead, what we did was we turned on our television because we have a TV. We put a coax antenna, one of those antennas on it,
Nice.
And we started watching football games, and we're just sitting there under our tents watching football games. It's fun, but then one of the dads pulls up a Weber grill and
oh shit,
we
nice.
start a fire and start making some grilled chicken.
You're not allowed to barbecue outside the.
Apparently, Leander ISD has an issue with people tailgating in their parking lots.
That sucks.
And so they asked us, well, I don't know, you guys read the
thing that you signed and emailed in.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that, so can you please turn it off? I'm like, you're just jealous because you don't have any fajitas.
I would be jealous. So anyway, look at your cards and make sets. Just like Old Maid. You've played Old Maid before, right?
Years ago, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have any 2 matching cards, you make a set and put it down. That's your point. I already made the Donkey Lady set. We already told that story about the Donkey Lady. I also made the El Padre set, which I'm not sure why El Padre is considered a spooky thing. Maybe it's all in child rape or something, but priests get a bag rap. Any institution where you have adults having authority over kids has a problem with, child molestation. Teachers, statistically, it happens just as much in the school districts as it does in the priesthood. So I don't know why they focus. I guess because they're supposed to be so good, and that's like the worst thing that you could possibly do, which is disgusting. But there's the El Padre. What set did you make?
So I've got Ghost Tracks.
Okay, the Ghost Tracks is also something here in San Antonio.
Oh, that's right. The kids.
Where,
is that the kids?
So these kids died in a bus accident, and if you park your car in the street and put talcum powder on your bumper and stuff, little hands will push your car. Well, no, nothing appears. It pushes your car off the street or off the railroad tracks, and when you look at the where you put the talcum powder, you'll see like little child's hands. So there's your set. La Muerta is pretty straightforward. That's just death.
La Bruja.
La Bruja is also pretty straightforward. It's the witch.
Those are the only ones that I have.
Okay. So pull a card from my hand and see if you can make a set.
Oh, yeah. So, let's see here. Dude, look. There you go.
La Llorona.
Yeah.
Do you know the story of La Llorona?
So, I do. Well, first of all, has anybody seen the movie? Good movie.
The movie was pretty good. So basically...
What do they call it? There's a bridge here. Somewhere over there going towards... is it Randolph? No. Is it Randolph Air Force Base?
I don't know.
Anyway, but it's called...
Woman Hollering Bridge?
Hollering Woman Creek. Or something.
Yeah. So, a woman in Mexico, her husband comes to America to make a better life and sends money and letters back in the mail periodically. The letters get less and less often, and there's less and less money until it completely stops. And she goes and finds a friend and says, "Hey, what happened to my husband?" And he goes, "Didn't you hear? He found a new woman in America, and he's married and has started a new life there."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God." And so she runs out of money because she was depending on the money in the letters, and her children are starving. So she decides, well, why let my children starve to death when I can drown them? And she takes them out to the river, holds their head underwater until they drown. And the next morning she realizes what a horrible mistake she has done, and she spends the rest of eternity walking up and down the river crying for her children. And that is La Llorona. No, that's still a card.
Is
That's the
it?
story of La Llorona.
Is this a wild card or what?
No, put it back in your hand.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. What's that?
Okay, spread your hand out. Thanks.
All right.
La Chupacabra, the goat eater. So we don't know what the Chupacabra actually looks like. Here's an artist rendition.
Doesn't it look like a dog, mangy dog?
Mangy dog. I heard that it's got like a long thing to suck the blood out.
Hey, whoa,
Hey.
got a long thing coming out of some mouth. I mean,
But it's they just find goats suck dry of their blood, and they just are saying that Chupacabra did it, but nobody's actually seen a Chupacabra. But that's the artist rendition. Here you go, draw a card.
I think I might have this one. Let me see here.
You have to.
This is
We're the only two playing.
There you go.
La Lechuza.
Yep.
What's a La Lechuza?
So I'm gonna tell you a little history behind La Lechuza. La Lechuza is a fucking ugly ass owl looking thing, a little taller than an owl. It makes weird snapping noises with its beak. It makes this little noise, and then its little scream is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But because I'm Hispanic and my mom believed in that shit, I'll never forget. I was about 6 years old, and my mom says, "Anda una lechuza afuera," which a lechuza was outside,
Yeah.
and that was believed to be like a bad omen, right? And so, do you know how you get rid of a lechuza?
I don't know. How do you?
So what I guess call it the legend or whatever you want to call it, right? Is that you chop up serrano pepper or some sort of spicy pepper. You cut it up or chop it up really small, put it out on a plate, and you take it outside right by your door, and you yell, "Chinga tu madre," right? Right? Because you're almost like giving that omen back to whoever put it on you, right?
Oh, okay.
And so you say, "Chinga tu madre, mañana vienes por," and I can't remember, it was something in salt. It was like, "Tomorrow you come for salt and something else." I can't remember what it was that she used to say.
Yeah.
Right? And then supposedly the first person to come and visit you the following days might be the person that
Sent the Lechuza in the first place?
yeah,
Oh,
that
shit.
sent those bad vibes to you. I don't know how true that is, but
So La Lechuza is supposed to be a witch, right? Is a witch transformed into an owl, or
yeah,
no?
yeah. So that's why they say that there's a curse behind it.
Yeah.
There's a curse behind you, and so the thing is, growing up with that shit, it scared the shit out of me. And like if I hear that and I don't even know what a fucking lechuza would probably look like or sound like now.
An owl, but
if somebody told me, I'd freak out, dude.
Big ass owl.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
You want me to spread my hand again?
Yes, please.
It's just my hand, dude.
Chinese cemetery.
Chinese cemetery.
Why is that different than a regular cemetery? I don't know. But there
So
it
these
is.
cards are a wee bit racist.
Well, they're supposed to be specific to San Antonio.
Oh,
So do we have a Chinese cemetery?
I guess we do now. Oh yeah, why am I spreading? Let's see. I want this one right here. El Brujo.
Brujo.
Okay, I don't think I have El Brujo, dude. Do I?
You should.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah. It's just a male witch. We got a female witch and a male witch. El Brujo.
So El Brujo is what was known to. This is the person you would go see that would give you any type of herbs or almost like black magic.
Your
right?
white magic to cure your black magic, or what?
Yeah, I guess
Or
so.
he's got the black magic.
He's my thought is that he had the black magic. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That was anyway. I was El Brujo. So
Keep trying to force cards on me. El Ojo.
oh, dude, I'm a true believer in that.
El Ojo. So anytime we take the kids out and the kids come home with a headache or a stomach ache, my wife rubs an egg on them to get rid of the evil eye because somebody was looking at them and somebody wanted them because they're so pretty. And so now
I still go through that, dude, at 52.
You have to rub an egg on yourself to get rid of an ojo?
Yeah, because women just check me out and they're like, oh, dude.
He does have the most clickable clickbait face on the internet because,
in English, I'm zesty. In Spanish, I'm muñecón.
So, el ojo is just evil eye. Somebody's like checking you out.
But there's more to it.
Okay, we'll say it.
So, now let's go back about what el ojo entails. So you take your kid out, you look good, whether it's you're a kid or an adult, right? You look good with what you might be wearing, your hair. Somebody looks at you and gives you the evil eye because they're like, man, he looks hot, she looks hot. Oh, those are beautiful babies or whatever it is, right? Yeah. And then you end up with a headache or whatever it is. It could be a headache. It could be something like, they've got... Babies get that, what do you call it?
Colic.
Colicky or stuff like that. And so, look, what you're supposed to do is you say a prayer as you're rubbing the egg over their little bodies, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you're done, you crack that egg, you put it into a glass of water, mm-hmm. You put 2 toothpicks in the shape of a cross over the egg, and then you put the egg under their mattress. Or next to them.
Okay.
And then there's people who know, kind of like people that read tea leaves or coffee grounds.
People can read the way the egg kind of bubbles up or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, like, I remember my grandmother looking at the egg going, oh, está bien cocido.
Yes.
Like, it's really well cooked, right? Yeah. And that meant that there was a lot of evil on, or evil eye on that child or that person, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I said there's more to it than just
rubbing the egg.
I mean, you've got to read it, and then some people go as far as saying you can see an eye on the yolk.
Yeah.
You know,
the fucked up ones are when you see it on YouTube and they rub the egg and they break it and the egg is black. That's fucked up.
I've never seen that shit.
You've never seen that shit?
No.
Was it my turn or your turn?
It's my turn.
You got El Cucuy. If you can't get rid of that, no, there's no pair to it. That's the old maid.
Oh.
You're stuck with it until the end unless I pull it. No, you don't show it until the end. Let me pull from your thing. But not El Cucuy. No, don't shuffle it in. I want this one. The mailman, El Carretero. I also don't know why the fuck this is in here. It has nothing to do with anything unless it's like the ending of...
Let me tell you a little story about El Carretero.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I got nothing.
Oh, shit. Unless it's like the ending of Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood of South Central, where he goes, there's always work at the post office.
Could be, dude.
Or, I know a joke, this man's wife is in labor, and he takes her to the hospital, and they get to the thing, and the doctor says, we have a new experimental technology. Mm-hmm. We can actually make you feel your wife's labor pains. We hook her up to the machine, and the father of the child will feel the labor pains instead of the mother.
Yep.
And he goes, I love my wife. Do it. So she starts going to labor, and they're like, okay, we're going to put it on to 25%. And she goes, oh, that feels a little bit better. And he goes, I don't feel a damn thing. And they crank it up to 50%. She goes, oh, that is so much better. And he goes, I still don't feel a damn thing. So they crank it all the way to 100%. She's like having the best labor. It's stress-free. She's so happy. They're happy. They kiss and hug. Man never feels a thing. They get home, and the mailman's dead on the front lawn.
Yep.
See?
Maybe that is the story of El Cartero.
Maybe that's the story. Which one's that one?
This is El Vato Loco Forever.
Is it? El Lowrider. That's not really spooky. That's just a nice car.
I wonder why El Lowrider would be in there.
I don't know. I'm not going to do the one that you... El Diablo. I love this story. So here in San Antonio, there was a club, a nightclub where people would go to dance. And this woman danced with a man all night. He was like Juan Sabor. Like all the ladies wanted to dance with him, but he chose this woman to dance with all night.
Let me see it.
And they danced all night.
Uh-huh.
until the very end of the night. She looked down, and the man had chicken feet.
Oh,
And
shit.
she's like, "Oh shit! I've been dancing with the devil all night," and then he disappeared. And that happened at a club here in San Antonio. Or
That's-
so the legend goes.
That's interesting, dude. I did not know that.
Is it your turn or my turn?
My
You
turn.
have more cards though.
Oh.
Did I just draw?
I thought so.
Oh, well, you got more cards than me. Why you got one upside down?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Okay, West Side Soul is just newspaper on the West Side. They're the ones that produce the cards. You only got La Mano.
La mano.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Oh, no, this is interesting because this is not just a hand. It's an ugly hand. It's called, also known as La Mano Pachona.
Oh.
So, I like that hand because it matches my hat.
Yeah.
So La Mano Pachona, the story behind it, it's kind of like, you remember, was it the Munsters that had the little hand?
Yeah, thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't the Munsters. It was the Addams Family.
Yeah.
So La Mano Pachona. Pachona in Spanish means chubby.
Yeah. Fat
so,
hand.
so yeah, the fat hand. So, for some reason, like La Mano Pachona is the one thing that scares kids in Mexico because you were told, hey, if you don't behave, La Mano Pachona is going to get you.
Oh, fuck.
And so, when you would ask, what's La Mano Pachona? And they're like this hand that comes out of nowhere, right? And it'll come out from under your bed and grab you.
Fuck.
Dude, yeah, so every kid was scared of La Mano Pachona,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's where La Mano comes from. So
The last card, El Cucuy. So El Cucuy is just like the Mexican boogeyman. We don't know what it looks like. It's just your standard.
Unlike like urban folklore here in the U.S., where everybody's made movies about the boogeyman, nobody's ever seen El Cucuy.
Yeah.
El Cucuy could be your mom when she's mad. El Cucuy could be the devil. El Cucuy is not somebody that you mess around with.
Thank you
So-
for playing El Cucuy with me. I've been saving those cards until Halloween, and we're in the spooky month of October.
Well, dude, I mean, what can I tell you? It's October. Oh, and by the way, oh my God, the weather today,
It's
the
beautiful.
weather yesterday,
Gorgeous.
it's like I moved to San Diego.
So when are we going to do the fancy podcast? It's got to be really cold to do the fancy
Yeah.
podcast?
Oh, yeah. Dude, we're going to be wearing ascots.
My ass got caught.
My ass caught in the door. So, no, I don't know yet. I think we need to put a date to it. Is
It's
that
all
what-
going to depend on the weather, right?
Oh wait, we said we were gonna do something. We need to do our cooking session.
We're doing a cooking one? We're, what, by the grill? We're going to do one by the barbecue pit?
I think we might need to.
Okay. That sounds fantastic.
I like that idea.
Bro, you're the best barbecuer I know.
I know.
Yes, I know.
Because when I feed people, they're drunk and they feel like it's the best. Anywho, yeah, dude. So you were asking me a while ago. I gotta tell you, dude, I'm beat after this weekend. Band. I don't know how kids do it, but fuck, dude, I feel worn out. You know what time I got home yesterday?
I don't know.
I'm 52 years old. I should not be partying, and I wasn't. But I got home at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I got home at 3 o'clock in the morning last
That's
night.
crazy,
Yeah.
man.
So, my kid went out. What? We were in Katy. Where were you at?
Leander, in Cedar Creek.
Okay. That's not
Cedar
that
Park,
far.
excuse me. No, it's not that far, bro. So, what happened is the band competed at 2:45,
Yeah.
right? Or no, at 12:45.
Yeah.
The band competes at 12:45, and then once they compete, they kind of just go and watch the other bands perform. And then at 5:30 or 6:30, they had at 6 o'clock, I think they had the award ceremony.
Yeah.
But the award ceremony was kind of like, hey, congratulations, best visual effect, best this, best that, blah, blah, blah. And then they said, and now the following, in no particular order, they gave, I guess, their standings, right?
Yeah.
And they said the following bands will move on to the finals. So, out of the 21 or 22 bands performing, 10 of them were going to move to the finals.
Okay.
And we were fortunate that our band was one of the finalists. Yeah. And so my wife asked, she goes, so they already performed once.
What are they going to play again?
Well, what are we going to play the second time around? I'm like, they're going to do the same show. And she's like,
Ching.
but the judges already saw the show. I said, here's the thing. It's like most sports, right? You have your first quarter, second quarter, and then, the team is doing like shit. They go in at halftime, right? The coach rips them a new one or motivates them, whatever.
Yeah,
and then they come back, like, dude, just beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Guns blazing. And so it's the same thing I was explaining to her. I said, band performs, comes back. If you're in the finals, I said, there's a good chance that the judges give them some feedback, and now the band director takes advantage and says, hey, this is what we need to fix.
Yeah.
But you don't have a chance to practice it because you don't have a place to practice. She just has to come up and say, flutes, you need to do this, trombones, you need to do that, blah, blah, blah. You need to watch where you are at, you were out of place, or whatever it was, right, that the feedback was.
Yeah.
And they come back, do the same show.
Yeah.
But I told her, I said, you wait and see. The second time they do the show,
It'll be better?
The sound will be, the volume on the sound will be different. And sure enough, she's like, it was crazy. And, we went up against some really tough bands, man.
Yeah.
Really tough bands. And so they had to perform again. But we were the second to the last to perform again. So we didn't perform till 9:45.
My God.
And then at 9:45, it's like you perform, you get your 8 minutes. And then another band had to go, Taft, here from San Antonio, went also. And then after they were done, the host band, which is Vista Ridge, they performed their exhibition performance.
Yeah.
Which I hear they were outstanding. Yeah. But they did their exhibition, and then they break for a while for the judges to kind of, I guess, reconvene, go over their points, and now they go into the award ceremony this time, right? And they start from the 10th band, who came in 10th, 9th, and so on and so forth, and it was it was intense. I mean, I can't even imagine how the kids felt. Yeah. They announced 5th place, and it's like, we're not there. 4th place, we're not there.
That's awesome. That's got to be a good feeling.
Dude,
like, they haven't called your name yet. That's got to be a great feeling.
And then when they go into the 3rd, I was like, I hate to be Debbie Downer here, but they announced 3rd, and we're like, dude, I'm ecstatic because I'm like, we're in the top 3.
Yeah.
Right? And then they announced 3rd, and we're not there.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh, dude, it's got to be 2nd or 1st, right? And then they come in to announce 2nd, and it's not us.
You got 1st place?
They got 1st place.
Congratulations, man. That's fantastic.
1st place. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Absolutely, man.
That's awesome.
I mean, I couldn't be more proud of the band.
That's a hard thing to do.
For those of you who know me, during the first performance, because it was too windy, I had to stand behind one of the panels to make sure it wouldn't
fly away,
topple over, right? Because they're on wheels, and they'll just take off like a sail, dude.
Yeah.
Right? And so here I am holding one of the panels, and we got cutouts on the panels for the wind to go through.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to watch the band through like one of the little holes. I'm holding that, and I can't believe I'm admitting this. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not a crier, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not a person who cries. I don't get emotional about shit.
Liquid pride in your ears.
But
in your eyes, not your ears.
Yeah. Yesterday, I gotta tell you, man, I felt pretty emotional.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Watching my kid out there, and it sucks because I was in the back panel, so I couldn't really hear them.
Yeah.
But the second time they performed, one of the dads said, no, the panels are going to be all right. There's hardly any wind. And besides, we have sandbags that we put under the wheels so that they won't roll. So I got to hear them from the front, and, man, it was a stellar show.
That's awesome.
Some gentleman came up to myself and a couple of the dads before they performed. I don't know who he was, but he said, man, he had to have been either a judge or something because he was walking inside the field.
Yeah.
He comes over and he says, hey, I just watched you guys perform. He goes, your band did outstanding.
That's awesome, man.
He goes, man, I'm looking forward to seeing them again right now.
Nice.
So
even though it was the same performance, just one more time.
Yeah, because I think as a judge, you know that these kids are going to come back with a vengeance. You know?
Prove
And
themselves.
yeah, to prove themselves. And so anyway, so they got done around 10:30 or 11, and then by the time they put away, I mean, first of all, they normally put away this stuff. These kids load up the 18-wheeler quickly.
Yeah.
But it took them a while because they had to.
Exhausted.
They were celebrating first, man. You got you got to let them celebrate.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, by the time we figured we'll be back by 1:30 in the morning, but then they made a quick. I say quick, great, 100+ kids stop at Buc-ee's.
Oh, that's a bad mistake. That's a bad mistake.
So we kept on coming. We drove all the way into town. But we could see on our kids' phone, it's like, oh, they're still at Buc-ee's, man.
Yeah.
So by the time they got in, it was 2:30. By the time we dropped off a couple of the kids that we gave a ride to, three. We got here 2:45. So yeah, it was a long freaking evening, man. Yeah.
So we didn't go to Katie with my kid. We just dropped her off in the morning, 6 a.m. Call time was 6 a.m. She had to be at the school at 6 a.m. Bus drives her all the way out to Katy, which is just outside of Houston.
Yeah.
The night before, we had watched the parents preview, which is where you get to see them perform and everything. And that's the second time we'd seen the same performance. So we're like, my oldest had like some choir stuff she had to do, so I had to be in town. My wife went to go see her mom in Laredo, so we didn't get to go. But she texted us about midnight that they were getting on, and so I went and I parked at the school because I like sleeping in my car. I drive a lot for work, and every once in a while I got to pull over and take a 15-minute nap. I get back on the highway, and man, I am energized and ready to go. 15-minute nap is like the greatest thing.
Yeah.
So I'm used to sleeping in my car, so I went and parked in the thing. I fell asleep at midnight. I woke up at 2 a.m. with all the other parents finally coming into the car. The bus pulled in at 2:30. I finally collected my kid at 3 a.m. because she was done unloading all her crap. She was sad. They got second place. She was sad that they didn't get first. And I'm like, man, second place is fucking fantastic. Why are you sad? And she's like, all my senior friends, this is their last year. I wanted the first place for the seniors. I'm like, she's a freshman, though. She's a freshman, and everybody's like telling her, like, she's the best marcher, like, out of any of the freshmen that they've ever seen. She won like band member of the week, like the very first week that they gave the award out. Dude. Yeah, because she's just out there performing. She plays a bassoon, which is not a marching band instrument, so she had to switch to saxophone to for marching.
Yeah,
and some fucking percussionist knocked her fucking saxophone over, and it leaks now. So she can't even play it. So she's marching around with an instrument she can't even play, but she's still fucking kicking ass. And so she was crying when I took her home. I'm like, you can't take this second place. Second place is so good. How can you be? But she's
put
like
so much pressure on themselves, man. They I mean, remember like you said, they work longer hours than either you or me or even some of our employees. And they've been at this from sun up to sundown during the summer months when it was 110 degrees.
It's true.
So it's it's tough on them, and so I was very happy with my daughter's performance and her band. But like I told her, I said, it doesn't always work out this way. It's just you guys did an outstanding job. And look, it is. I'm gonna call it what it is. I told her, I said, I didn't get to see the other bands. My wife did, and she said, Johnny, they were amazing. Yeah. The only downfall to the show yesterday, dude. I'm gonna call them out on this shit. New Braunfels Marching Band.
Yeah.
The Unicorns. You might be called unicorns because you're mystical and magical, but dude, a couple of the kids threw burger patties at our kids
That's fucked up.
When they found out that
you got first.
That we got first.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
fuck
man.
the Braunfels.
Yeah.
Fuck the unicorns.
Yeah. Fuck you and your mystical, magical bullshit.
You're not even real. Go fuck yourself.
Your performance wasn't even real. You weren't even there.
Damn.
Yeah. Had you been there, you would have won. Maybe. Whatever. No, but honestly, it was great. It was fun.
Man, the hour's already flown by. I didn't think we usually have to take a pause for the cause. I'm kind of low, but
I think what it is, it went by so quick because we gave an explanation as to what the legends, urban legends here in San Antonio are, man.
yeah, I thought that was fun for
It was.
October.
It was, and for those of you that are not familiar with them, you know.
You just learned something new.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So anyway, dude, you know what it is? It's hard for me right now to even focus with this fucking weather.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful outside. Can't wait for the Fancy Day podcast. For y'all don't know, the next really cold night, we're gonna wear smoking jackets and ascots.
Scott.
And we're gonna talk like this because everything's fancy. We're gonna smoke from pipes instead of cigars because everything is fancy.
We're gonna be smoking
They're so
pipes,
fancy.
crack pipes. Oh, not a crack
No, not
pipe.
crack. That's the opposite of fancy.
Oh,
We'll smoke tobacco pipes because we're fancy. Oh, he's gonna smoke a hookah.
ooh,
He's gonna
hookah.
smoke a hookah because he traveled to
Oh, wait.
India. No, that's still gangster. What the fuck are you doing? That's not fancy.
Smoking a hookah.
Oh, you smoked it,
Just kidding,
bro.
just kidding. I was gonna share something with you, and it just kind of slipped my
left
mind.
it.
What's that? Yeah, I did.
Think about it while you're talking about that.
Can we just send a reminder to please let us know what they saw in the picture?
Comment below on the thumbnail if you see the nun in the picture, or if you don't see the nun in the picture. Comment below. It's the thumbnail. It's gonna be on Spotify. It's gonna be on YouTube. It's going to be on Apple Podcasts. Just look at the thumbnail. If you see a nun, let us know. Comment below. If you don't see the nun, then comment below.
I don't see a nun.
If you're the one who said you saw the nun.
I'm looking at my thumbnails.
Oh, ching.
Eh.
Oh, God damn. So, and if you haven't watched the walkthrough of the most haunted building in the state of Texas, go to the left. 2 videos that way and watch both versions. Both versions are good. His is better. It's got his beautiful face on it. He's so clickable. Before we go away, I like to be thoughtful with my t-shirts. Everybody knows what 911 is. That's what you call an emergency. Everyone knows what 912 is. That's when you have white privilege and you want the cops to show up.
You got called out on that shit. You know that, right?
Who called me out?
Our number one fan.
She said 912 is bullshit?
No.
Oh.
She just said there's always that white boy in a fucking scary movie that decides to do something stupid
And get everybody else in trouble?
and exactly. She goes, but I guess that's why he has 912. He does it because he's got 912.
I got 912. I can call
So
912.
somebody commented on our video last week.
Is this because I got in the coffin?
That's exactly why she called you out on it. She's like, there's always that token white
Pinche
guy.
white boy.
Yeah.
Pinche white boy.
But since you've got 912, what do you care?
Exactly. So you know 911, you know 912. That's when you got white privilege. But this is 988. If you are feeling sad, if you are feeling down,
When you're down and lonely and you need a helping hand.
dial 988. Because that's the suicide hotline. It is.
Is it really?
988 is the suicide hotline. It's no longer some big long ass number you have to memorize. It's now 988. So suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Yeah, that man or woman broke your heart, but there's other people out there that you'll find.
Yep.
Yeah, you lost that job, but there's other fucking jobs out there. Yes, life sucks. Every once in a while, it'll kick you in the teeth while you're struggling to get back up.
Yep.
But it's only temporary. If you are feeling like you're at the end of the rope, please dial 988. Please talk to a trained professional that'll help you with it. Maybe connect you with some mental health professionals. Maybe just listen to your story and just listen to your problems. Sometimes saying the shit out loud gets it out of your soul and out of your heart and out into the world. And it feels better to just talk to somebody. So if you're ever feeling like killing yourself, please don't. Please call 988. Don't kill yourself. Suicide is not the answer. 988 is the answer. Call 988 if you're feeling low.
988 no es la respuesta para sus problemas de suicidio. Marque el 988 para respuestas a cómo puede seguir adelante.
Claro que sí.
Y para sus tamales, visite Adela's Tamal. Oh, no, just kidding.
But I just want to make sure we got that on the podcast because then I would have worn the shirt for nothing.
That's a good point.
We got like 15 minutes left. Do you want to pause for the cause or do you want to just power through the last 15 minutes?
Are you empty or not?
Hold on. I'm empty.
We're going to pause for the cause. Please stay right there. Don't move. And it's a word from our sponsor.
Do I got to do sea salt nuts again?
Dude, what's up with you selling nuts? My wife thought it was hilarious, and yet
TikTok did not.
did not think so. But they are our sponsor, so be right back. Don't move. Don't touch that thing. Hey. See you back. I said don't move.
So I actually remembered what I wanted to talk about. Taylor Swift is dating some dude on the Kansas City Chiefs, and
Travis Kelce.
the first episode or the first game where sea salt, put some sea salt on your nuts. If you say Zestyortesty when you buy sea salt, they'll give you a little extra salt to sprinkle on your nuts, just a little bit though. So the first game where Taylor Swift went to go watch her boyfriend play had the same ratings as the Super Bowl. So all the casual fans that show up to, and you throw the best Super Bowl parties, and that's literally the only time I watch football, at one of his Super Bowl parties, those same people all tune in just to get a glimpse of Taylor Swift watching her boyfriend play. And that blows my fucking mind. It blows my mind that Taylor Swift is more popular than football right now.
Look, I'm going to tell you something.
Tell me something.
The girl can do something right.
Date like the right man or something?
I mean,
3 months from now, she's going to be writing songs about him. You motherfucker, you throw a ball better than you love me.
there's some guys on TikTok talking about how what's going to happen 3 months from now, 4 months from now. And one of them says, dude, the Grammys are during that time. He's like, oh my God, that's going to kill our Super Bowl. Look. She's like fucking messy, dude.
Yeah.
It's like Messi signs on with Miami, and next thing you know, Miami tickets are going through the roof.
Yeah.
Tickets to some of these football games where like you could get cheap tickets for $80. $80 tickets are now $400.
Yeah. Just because Taylor Swift's dating some guy?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've been watching some of these videos with women saying, do you realize what this girl did? She put him on the map. Look, I'm not a football guy, but I know the guy's been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But all these Swifties think that Taylor is what's making him who he is.
Well, I'm sure his career has nothing to do with Taylor Swift, but the ratings have a lot to do with Taylor Swift, which is weird to me. It's just weird that they were tuned in just to watch her.
She's going to be the next football commissioner, like NFL commissioner, dude. Because that's how you get ratings up. Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm just saying. Shit, dude. I mean, she's doing something right, dude.
My kid went to go watch.
She's doing someone right.
Her last, apparently. She does a lot of people right, apparently. Until they do her wrong and she writes 8 songs about them. Her whole career is just breakup music.
Yeah, that's
Except
true.
for the last one. The last one's about, but she wasn't even with anybody at that time.
I
don't know. I don't follow Taylor Swift or football.
Olivia
so I have
Rodrigo,
no
Taylor Swift. What's the other one? Adele.
it's all breakup music.
Yeah, dude. They look forward to breaking up with their men so they can make an awesome song and make millions.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Art comes from pain. That's all I know.
Art gives you pain?
Art comes from pain.
Art comes from pain. Wow.
Others come first.
It's pretty deep there.
So I used to watch Jocko Willink, or I used to
What the
listen.
fuck?
Jocko Willink.
What the hell's that?
Jocko Willink is an ex-Marine. He was, he wrote the book.
Grab my nuts back.
I didn't take them from you, motherfucker.
Thank you.
Jocko Willing wrote the book "Discipline Equals Freedom," and he's all about like if you're on top of that shit all the time, you put yourself at a higher level where you have more choices in life. He has some podcasts. What the fuck was my point?
I don't know, but if you're sitting on top of your shit, like he said, flush it.
If you're sitting on top of your shit, you probably
Then maybe you need to.
You probably ate a bunch of sea salt cashews and you processed them well.
You lost your train of thought, didn't you?
I did, because you started like we were talking about.
Oh,
Taylor
now
Swift.
it's my fault.
Yes, you're talking about Taylor Swift.
So to all the Swifties listening out there, I have nothing. I mean, other than you could date whoever the fuck you want, Taylor Swift.
Oh,
That's what we were getting at. You're welcome. See, I brought it back.
art comes from pain. Art comes from pain. So he's talking about raising kids, and he's got kids. He even wrote a children's book, and he's like, if you're helping your kids, you're not helping your kids, because people get better through struggle. Here, let me give you an illustration.
I do agree with that.
A man was walking through the woods and he saw a butterfly trying to come out of its chrysalis. Instead of letting the butterfly struggle out of the chrysalis, he opened the chrysalis up and the butterfly walked out all sticky, and a lizard came by and ate it and ran off. Why? Because the struggle to get out of this chrysalis is what gets all the mucus off the butterfly's wings. If it doesn't have that struggle to get out of the chrysalis. If it doesn't have the struggle to get out of the chrysalis, it can't get the mucus
Kind of
off
butterflies.
its wings.
Kind
I
of
don't know. I got a dirty mind.
That's what she said.
If it doesn't struggle to get out of the chrysalis, it doesn't get the mucus off its wings and it can't fly. Kids are the same way. If you don't let them fail every once in a while, they'll never learn to succeed. If you do everything for them, they become lazy and complacent, and they're like fuck offs.
What kind of children's museum are you going to, dude? Where the clitoris?
Bro,
I'm sorry,
I
man.
couldn't pronounce chrysalis.
Yeah,
But Jocko Willing says, but
Jack off Willink.
no, Jocko,
No.
motherfucker, he's got a podcast. So do we.
Why are you advertising his podcast?
Did you know?
That 9 out of 10 dentists recommend Dentine or Trident?
Do they?
I don't know.
Maybe that's just a commercial you saw one time.
commercial.
If we lived in Canada, we would have to register this podcast with the government.
Hey,
The Canadian government regulates podcasts.
fuck you, Canada.
Yeah, fuck you, Canada. Every country does not have freedom of speech. America is very unique that we have freedom of speech, and we need to protect that. A man got arrested in Switzerland because he made a Facebook video where he called a journalist a fat lesbian. Now, is a woman overweight? Yes. Is a woman dating other women? Yes. So what he said was accurate. Yet he got charged with a hate crime and had to do 60 days in jail in Switzerland.
Oh.
In Canada, we could not put this podcast on the air. We would have to register it with the Canadian government. We would have to tell them what our content was going to be, and we would have to give them information on our listeners. Like if we had an email list, or if we had like anything that tracked our listeners, we would have to turn that over to the Canadian government, because the Canadian government regulates podcasts, because they do not have freedom of speech in Canada. They do not have freedom of speech in Great Britain. They do not have freedom of speech in Switzerland.
And this is why we moved to Texas.
Well, we're from Texas.
Oh, we're from Texas. My bad. Take it back.
So
Hey.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have one more thing to bring up. I know we're limited on time. There's a woman out there in this world. You know who you are,
Oh, shit.
okay? You took my cake. You took my ice cream cake. And I'm not happy with you.
Bro.
Fortunately, we've already talked about it. What? No, seriously. Give me a sec. So, I was at a party recently. Good friend of ours. He had a birthday party, he invited us over, and I bump into this woman. And I guess it must be something that must have been bothering me for the last 6 years, 5 years or so. But as I see her, I had to tell her.
I know you, bitch.
Well,
You took my
no.
ice cream cake.
Well, I do know her. I didn't call her that because she's a very nice lady. But I'm still upset over the fact that
Nice ladies don't steal cakes.
what she did.
Just say.
She did. She stole my cake. And so she didn't steal it. I'm gonna tell you. So there's a story behind it. So we're at what's that jumping place called? Not
Altitude.
Altitude. We're at Altitude. She's there because her kid is a guest at a party that's happening at Altitude. My kid is in the same grade school, so she goes. We go to Altitude. I take my kid to Altitude. Well, she's there with her kid. She's a real sweet lady, right? Thanks, Abby. But anyway, she everybody's getting a slice of cake, and the mom comes over and she's like, "Hey, do you guys want some ice cream cake?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take a slice." Right? So I take a slice. I eat my slice of cake, and then here comes my kid. My kid doesn't like cake, right? And so she's like, "Dad, I don't want the cake," right? And dude, I got so fucking excited because this body gets excited about cake, okay? And so she comes over and she's like, "Dad, I don't want it." I'm like, my eyes just had this little sparkle. They glisten, you know, when she said, "I don't want the cake."
I'll take it, sweetie.
I'm like, "It's all right, Mama. I'll take care of this for you." You know, and I'm talking to some other parents, and this lady is there, right? And, dude, I grab my daughter's cake, and she says, and I can already savor that, right? It's like, "Ooh, you got the chocolate part of the ice cream cake, right?" Yeah. And I grab the fork, and as I'm doing that, she comes over and she's like, "Oh, don't you just hate it when kids do that?" And she's like, "Here, let me take that away from you."
Why didn't you punch her in the face?
It's just something about getting arrested, you know. But anyway, so she's real.
So you literally didn't say anything as she was taking the cake away?
No, I was kind of like the guy from Office Space, the one looking
My
for
stapler.
my stapler. And when they pass the cake, and they're like,
"Don't take the stapler."
remember when they're passing the cake, they're like, "Come on, don't be selfish, pass it on." And at the end, he's the one left without the slice of cake.
Yeah.
That was me. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Well, I was gonna throw it away anyway. Yeah. Bro. Yeah, and so I stayed there.
You held on to that pain for 6 years.
For 6 years, and I bumped into her at a party, and
then you pushed her in the face.
I didn't.
Oh.
But I did see her at a party. I said, "I got a little bone to pick with you." And she's like, "Oh my God, what did I do?" And I said, "Oh, this goes back like 5-6 years." And she's like, "What happened?" And I told her, I said, "We were at a party," and I explained to her what. She goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that." And she was real apologetic. I'm like, I have to live with that pain.
I didn't get to taste the cake at all.
Yeah. I'll never know what that chocolate cake tastes.
Exactly. Everybody else got a piece. Mm-hmm. But Zesty.
I mean, I tasted the vanilla side of the ice cream cake.
That's not the same.
Now,
That's
I will
not even
tell
the
you,
best flavor.
Abby, if you're listening, you did tell me that your husband makes outstanding bagels. So, I mean, you can make it up with bagels.
Or you can sponsor the Zestyortesty podcast for
with some bagels.
$1.25 and bagels.
Yeah, for $1.25, we'll be talking about your bagels.
So bring some bagels every Sunday at 3 p.m.
Yes, please. But anyway, I just had to throw that out there because I just had that conversation with her a couple of weeks ago. So, there you go.
My niece got bit by Tony Parker's son. So you brought up a jumpy place. There used to be a jumpy place on Hebner called the Jumpy Place.
Yeah, that's right.
And we were having a party there, and my eldest comes up to me and says, "Some kid just slapped me." I'm like, "Was it a little kid?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, fuck, you're bigger than that kid." And she was like a big kid, so like, fucking, why are you letting some kid slap you around? And she's like, "I don't know, I'm just telling you." I'm like, "All right." 2 minutes later, my niece comes crying, "Some kid just bit me." I'm like, "What's going on?"
Bite him back.
And she lifts up her shirt, and there's a huge bite mark, like top jaw and bottom jaw on her stomach. Like somebody bit that kid hard. I'm like, "What the fuck? Who bit you?" And she points to the kid, and the kid's got like a parental figure hanging around. And I walk up to the lady. I'm like, "Is this your kid?" And
you bite him back?
no, I didn't bite anybody. And she goes, "Yeah, that's my kid." I'm like, your kid just bit my niece. And she's like, what are you going to do? Get the lawyers involved? And I'm like, what the fuck? Because number one, like normally, you say your kid bit my...
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's what you say. You say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so that's what I told her. I'm like, normally when in a situation like this, and I was like livid because like, I tried to start off like civil. And then when she goes, what do you want me to do? Get lawyers involved? That like set me off. I'm like, normally in a situation like this, you say sorry. And she goes, well, I'm European. I'm not used to your culture. I'm like, they don't fucking say sorry in Europe. So like...
No kidding.
So...
she must be French.
She was French. So, the cell phone is the greatest weapon in the history of the world because I don't know what made me do it, but I pulled out my phone and I started taking pictures of this bitch because I'm like, this bitch is going to get lawyers involved. I need to fucking like document what's going on. As soon as I started taking pictures of her, she walked away and got the manager. Manager comes up to me and says, that lady wants you to delete the picture you just took of her. I don't care if you delete the picture. Could you please just take out your phone and pretend like you're doing something? So I took out my phone, fucked around with it, did not delete the picture. The bitch left. The bitch took her kids that bit my niece and slapped my daughter. And the manager comes up to me later and goes, you know who that was? And I'm like, I have no idea who that was. She's like, that's Tony Parker's mom. And those were Tony Parker's kids. And so Tony Parker's fucking punk ass son bit my niece and slapped my eldest daughter in the face.
Wow.
Because Tony Parker's out playing basketball and not raising his goddamn kids, motherfucker. You don't play for the Spurs anymore. So eat my ass, Tony Parker. With your fucking punk ass kid.
You just asked a man to eat your ass.
Yeah.
Oh.
After I ate corn and the fucking husk of the corn is still sticking in there. So fucking
he's eating your tamales.
Yeah. So I didn't know who it was at the time. So on an old cell phone, I have a picture of Tony Parker's mom doing that.
But I agree with you. A simple apology would have made things better.
If she had just said, I'm sorry, none of that would have happened. I wouldn't have gotten angry.
It's crazy how so much shit happens at... Oh, it's closed now, but at the Jumpy Place.
Yeah. That's why it's closed.
Yeah.
Place with ghetto.
And I know we got to get going, but before we leave, the Jumpy Place was... My kid was accused of bullying another little boy.
Oh, shit.
Right? Yeah. And the parents had invited us to the party, and my wife said, I'm not taking our kid to the party. No, I don't want to take him to a place where the parents are accusing our kid of bullying this
then why they invite your
Because
kid?
It's one of those where they invite the whole classroom,
I get you.
And so I told my wife, I said, I'm going to take her. I took her.
Because Zesty loves conflict.
In fact, I don't think so. I guess. But anyway, I took my kid to the party. And after the party, and maybe it wasn't the time or place, but after the party, I asked the mom, I said, do you have a minute? And she says, yes. I said, could I speak to you and your husband?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah. I said, my daughter is this kid. And I said, and my understanding is your son may have been bullied. At least you thought that he may have been bullied by my daughter.
Yeah.
And she had approached the school about it.
Yeah.
So the school could take care of it.
Oh, damn.
And because according to her little boy was having sleepless nights.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude.
From the bullying?
From the bullying, because my kid is like just a horrible child.
Your kid's the sweetest kid I've ever met.
Not if you meet her the way I've met her. But needless to say, it turns out that it may have been, but here's what I told the parents, and it was at the Jumpy Place. I said, look, we're the type of parents that will address the issue if you tell us about it.
Yeah.
I said, we did not know that was happening, but thank you for letting us know. I said, if it ever happens again, we'll take care of it. I said, but please, come to me directly.
Yeah.
I said, because if you come to me directly, I'll address it, and I'll be able to talk to you, to my daughter, to your son, and myself. And I'll tell you what came out of it. One of the best friendships my daughter had.
Oh.
Her and that little boy ended up having like 2-3 parties together, birthday parties, because their birthdays were about a month apart.
Nice.
And when they went to grade school, he was just a good kid, and that's why I said so much shit happened at that place, man. Because we had multiple parties at the Jumpy place.
I remember.
But good things happen from when you approach folks, And what's funny is not only did they end up having a great relationship, but both the mom and the dad, great people, and we ended up building a good relationship with them. Unfortunately, they moved to Dallas, and so we kind of lost touch with them.
Well, that's a happy ending of the podcast.
Yeah. So,
please comment below if you see a nun in the picture of the hallway that's the thumbnail of this video. If you're feeling sad, please call 988.
And lonely.
That's the suicide
hotline. And you
hotline.
need a helping hand.
Everybody does, man. Sometimes you just need to talk to somebody. I got Zesty, but if you don't have Zesty, call 988.
Enjoy your nuts. No, in all seriousness, look, depression, suicide.
It's the second leading cause of death in this country after fentanyl overdose.
They say that only taxes, there's
death and taxes.
Taxes and death are the only two things that you cannot avoid, right?
Correct.
Death and taxes. But I'm going to tell you, death is something you can definitely avoid.
Yeah, avoid it until you're old.
Yeah. So let Mother Nature take its course.
Yeah, don't do it yourself.
Yeah, don't do it yourself. Don't be stupid. Yeah, 988. All right, folks.
Hey, this was a good one.
It was fantastic. And do comment on our whether you see the nun or not.
Yeah. Because I'm interested.
I am too. I'm interested to see if this guy's a moron or I'm just a genius.
It's one of the two.
Yeah.
It's either or.
Yeah. He's a moron, I'm a genius. Which one is it? So, if you don't want to comment on the nun and you just want to comment on the fact that Zesty, me, I'm a genius, well then just go in there and just say, Zesty, you look hot in that green cap. I'm too fat to raise my foot, but oh my god, I'm gonna try
Stop that! Oh,
look at that.
Oh, you got matching shoes. It matches the
matching
hat.
Shoes.
It's the Zestyortesty shoes.
That's right.
Man, life is good. The
life
weather
is good,
beautiful.
folks.
Call
Absolutely.
988 if you're feeling down. If you're feeling good, then comment below. We love you.
We love
Zesty
you.
and Tessie loves you.
Take care.
Bye.
And remember, sea salt.
Yeah, always put sea salt on your nuts. Not regular salt. Sea salt.
If it ain't sea salt,
It ain't shit.